Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. First, I want to just give God thanks and praises for waking me up this morning, the ability to trade and help others trade and make money. My wife is not beside me right now. My wife is getting treatment. If you guys don't know, my wife has a kidney transplant. So with that, every month she takes a Bella infusion. So with that, she's had her Bella infusion this morning. Apart from that, guys, let's have a great Monday. Let's have a great start to our week. Be patient. Market just opened, so be patient. Let everything ride out for a little bit, and then we'll see as plays set up. We'll take those plays as they come. All right. I was looking at AVGO to the downside. Right now on the week, it just broke. Damn it. It already broke. And it had no gap on the top. So if you look, do we have a top on that? Yeah, we have a top on it. All right, so right now AVGO broke to the downside. It closed the gap right here, but target should be down here for the week. As far as down here at 32. Let's see what it's hitting on the 15 minute. Not hitting on anything on the 15 minute. 5. Nothing on the 5 either. It's just that I know that these contracts are going to be heavy. They're going to be probably the heaviest right now with the contracts. If they keep falling, then great, you're going to be in profit. But if you get in and this pull back up here, you just bought AVGOs at the highest contract for the week. So for it to actually be profitable now, it have to drop past this level and be in profit. So sometimes that's why I say wait for a little bit, let the contracts kind of settle, and then you take action based on that. Coin seems bullish for this week. Bitcoin is back up, so pay attention to coin as well. I have an alert on Apple if Apple breaks a level. So I'm waiting for Apple to break. I'm waiting for Apple to break a certain level before. Yeah. Apple bounced off of a nice area, which is a 50 right here on the day. So that's a nice level that it bounced off of. On the 4 hour, still an inside bar on the 4 hour. So don't get trapped, guys. The 1 hour looks decent as far as right here. 1 hour looks decent on the 200, but within the first 15 minutes, this 1 hour could come down and basically reject. Afterwards, this is still an open candle. This 1 hour closed under it, so you have to pay attention to that. Now the contracts on AVGO are settling right now. I really like AVGO to the downside. If this breaks, if this 5-minute breaks, then we could look at a potential put. Because the contracts are settling right now. Let them settle. If AVGO breaks here, I'm really thinking about if it breaks there. Apple is moving to the upside. Let's see right here on Apple. Apple actually looks good. Didn't get no alert on Google. Did I get no alert on Google? Google, that was Friday. Google long. Got a Google long. Google gapped up Friday afternoon. Everything is pulling back in, so be patient. Be patient. SPY opened up at 600 and completely reject 600 again. So just pay attention to that. Now, if AVGO does not break this five-minute candle, if AVGO does not break this 5-minute candle, stay within this range, and the next 5-minute comes in, come up here, and then break this low, then I'll probably short it. Or I just might wait for the first 15 minutes. I'm not rushing. So unless something looks really good, like completely broke, like Meta, like right now, look at Meta. Meta is looking like it wants to break the high, which is the high of the week. If Meta breaks the high of the week, right there, those are my levels that I have for Meta. All right, so Meta just broke out. Man, I hate every time I have to close. Meta just broke the weekly high. So look for Meta to push. It just hit the first line right here. Look for 705. We might come down and then push back up for the 15-minute. So here where I'm talking about AVGO right now. If AVGO actually push up, see how it closed under this right here? If AVGO push up and then break this 5-minute to the low, depending on what time it break it, I might look to buy it. If it break it and we still have like 4 minutes, 3 minutes left in the candle, then yeah. AVGO is looking good as far as what it's supposed to do. It's settling within this area, so it's looking good. Apple also broke this level right here. So look for Apple to push more. But we want to see Apple break the day high. If Apple does not break the day high, then I wouldn't get in. I actually have Apple to break weekly high. Because if it break weekly high, then it's a stronger break. Google already broke week high. At this point, guys, just wait for contracts to settle. Again, just wait for the first 15 minutes. I'm like in Apple, how Apple is looking. But again, Apple needs to break over that level. If it doesn't, AVGO is looking good as far as on a 15-minute candle for a reversal. Back to the upside, but look for it to close the gap right up here. Test that day low. It could run back up to close the gap right here. So we have a gap close right here. But we broke weekly low. And this is a reversal to the downside. So on a weekly time frame, which is a bigger time frame, we should be coming down. You have to be patient. Remember, it's no rush to trade, guys. No rush to trade. Got 1 minute left in this 15-minute candle. Amazon is also looking good to the upside. If you look at that candle, we have some heavy sell pressure right here. Some heavy sell pressure right here. That is coming All right, here's a new 15-minute candle. I have heavy sell pressure out there with Amazon. So, where's this? 180. So dollar move up. Be patient, guys. Be patient. Be patient. Everything is pulling back. Be patient. Still not in no trades yet. Still not in no trades yet. It already broke. If you guys notice, I was watching. Remember, I was watching AMD last week. To the upside. AVGO looked like it wants to reverse on a 15-minute. I like AVGO to the downside. Like I said, the reason why I like AVGO to the downside, it broke the weekly low, which is right here. Perfect reversal candle if you look at it. So we might pop up. It's the first day of the week, guys. So we might pop up, right? But pay attention to the downside for AVGO. Now, I will take it if we get this break. Let's see. My phone keep on going in and out. All right, we're being patient. We're being patient. Oh shit. What is that? Apple. Oh, Apple just reversed on a 5. Being patient right now. Might not get anything till 10 o'clock, guys. To be honest, how this is looking. A rejection from here, because this is day high as far as candle high. Also, if you look right here, it's going to be a 2-2 reversal to back to the upside on AVGO if we break right here. So if we break right here, it's a call to the upside. But on the higher time frame, regardless, on the higher time frame on the week, we broke down. So we can push up, like I say, but I would rather see a break. Now, everything is pushing to the upside right now. If we look at what SPY is doing, what is SPY doing? SPY is chilling right now. SPY is chilling right now. All right, so AVGO is looking to break. All right, AVGO just broke. So I'm going to do a call on AVGO. All right, so I just got in some calls. I got in some 247.50 calls. Average cost on the 247.50 calls is 362. Now, my target with this would be this red line up here, right? This is the day low. So there's two resistance that we're going to probably test. The first resistance we're probably going to test is this 46 line, right? Which is the low of the day, okay? It did gap down. So right here, we did gap down. So that's going to be the low right there, right? But then you have the gap close. The gap closes up here. So the gap closes right there at that body. All right. So those are the two areas that we're going to go for. Now, we should be up already on these contracts. Right now, we're up 5% on the contracts. All right, here we go. Expect some type of pullback, guys. Expect some type of pullback right here within the next 14 seconds. This 5-minute candle is about to close. Right now we're up 7%. All right, we're approaching first target, first area where we're going to have some type of resistance at. All right, so new 5-minute candle in. Of 5% again on these contracts. All right, here we go. 7%, 10%. Here we go, guys. Make sure you're trimming right at this right here. Make sure you're taking something right here. Watch us push up to the next target, which is going to be the close of the candle. The close right there is going to be the close, okay? Once we push up there, that means the gap closes at that point. So we're hitting first target right now. All right, so I close out some literally over 10%. We have 1 minute left in this contract, guys. So make sure that you're taking profit, okay? We can pull back down. Remember, this is a resistance level right here, okay? So make sure you're taking profit. We went over 10% on this. Literally, I saw 15% on mine. So I closed out my contracts right here. I always used to say this, when you see a candle, now, not saying that it can't push within this next 55 seconds more, but you always have to pay attention to when the candle closes, how much time it have left on it, okay? So when a candle start pushing, you have to sell in volume. You have to sell when it's pushing in volume, right? When you're not doing that, right, and then it pulls back, when you're selling, it's going to be not say difficult, depending on what broker you're using. If you're using Robinhood and you're trying to sell at market, you might not sell at market, because what will happen is they'll just be like, oh, your order didn't fill, right? But depends on the other brokers that you use, your order will fill instantly. Now with this right here, we're having this pullback right now. SPY is coming back down right here. A break. We have a 3-1 with SPY, okay? So 3-1 with SPY. A break below here and SPY will be a put. A break below there. Remember, AVGO already is hitting on this target right here, right? That's the first target. Again, let me show you. This is the first target. My second target would be this line, okay? That will be the gap close of the day. That will be the gap close because we gap down, okay? So that will be gap close. Right now, this is resistance. Support, this is support. Now support is acting as resistance. If we break over here, then we should close up here. The next target should be up here, nowhere else, right? The next target should be up there, followed by, and if you look left, right? If you look left, look where it's hidden, okay? Look where it uses as this was resistances first, then this became support. Now this is acting as resistance again. We need to close this gap. On the weekly, we break to go down on the weekly, but we have a gap to fill. So we could come up here, fill that gap, go up a little bit more, reject, and come back down because we're supposed to go down for the week. So right there again, if you didn't get an opportunity to scale out or get out your contracts, here's one of them where you could scale out. You could keep some. I closed mine right here. I closed all mine because it was 10 o'clock that was coming in. And I saw that it was holding good on resistance right here. So I sold all mines right here. Okay. You can keep yours if you want to, but make sure that you're taking some type of profit. Okay. Make sure you're taking some type of profit right here. You should be up. Your first target should be right here. If we reject and come down, we're going to fall all the way. We're going to test all the way back down here and break right here and continue to fall. For the week, the targets for the week, we already closed that gap right there, but the target for the week is going to be 232 is going to be the target for the week. There's it rejecting right there. See how it's rejecting right there? Now SPY is looking like it wants to go for puts. If SPY breaks this 15-minute candle, that's a reversal to the downside on SPY. SPY is also using a 50 as support. So it's at a crazy area, but it broke. So SPY should be puts right now. What is this? The 5-minute is ending right now. So that's why we have this bounce up. Why? 5-minute is ending. So we have this bounce up. Yeah, look at this heavy sell area right here. All right, so I'm going to wait for this 5-minute candle to end. A break of right here. We have a 2-2 situation, right? Now, with a 2-2, a 3-1 setup, our target should be down here at day low, right? That's the setup right now. But if we come back up and break here, we're gonna push higher. Right now we're rejecting, and we're in this zone right here because we're on the 50 line. So it's using the 50 as support. What is the high of this? 48. Risk 30 cents. I'll wait till the trade give me that it's going back down. You can jumping in a trade early, right? Would be me jumping in a trade right now, knowing that it didn't break to go back down lower, right? But if I'm jumping in this trade, I could be like, all right, what's my risk tolerance or what's my risk level? My risk level will be a break of here, and then I'll get out. Okay. That will be my risk tolerance because we know we broke to the downside. So we could push back up a little bit just to reject again. 15 minute on here. So right here, a lot of sell level, we're creating lower lows on the 5-minute candles. All right, AVGO is pushing back up. So watch AVGO to go to right here. If we break, of course, if we break that 15-minute candle. Still haven't broke it yet. Well, it did a little bit, but not by much. All right, so I'm not in nothing right now. I already did one trade for the day, which is AVGO. I already took profit on AVGO. I'm looking at SPY. Right here, we break to come down right here on SPY. So a short could be fine right here, but your stop loss would have to be, my stop loss would have to be right here at the top of this line. But I'd rather not do that. I'd rather wait for another candle to come in and tell me, all right, you can short again. So the other candle that will come in and tell me to short would be the 5-minute candle. This 5-minute candle come in, we're still below VWAP, a break of this low, and I'll short it. We have 45 seconds left. Apple is pushing back up. Apple has a good setup on a 15-minute as well. So either way, Apple is has a double inside right now in a 15-minute. A break of this 15-minute and Apple can push. All right, Apple could push up. So we could see Apple push. I'm actually SPY also. If Apple is pushing, SPY is probably pushing. SPY didn't break up here yet. Apple is looking decent for calls. The wait though, because it didn't break that level. I would rather take that broke right there. 1 hour. Oh yeah, the 1 hour already reversed. Right here is day high, so a break above day high. All right, SPY is a call. SPY broke back up to the upside, so SPY is a call. We got 3 minutes left on this right here. Everything has just been seeming. Yeah. SPY broke right there. Did we gap up on that? We have 3 minutes left in this 15-minute candle. Apple is pushing. SPY is probably going to push. All right, I'm going to jump into some SPY calls. I'm going to jump into some $600 SPY calls. Reason why I took that is because of right here. We came down, we broke back up to the upside on SPY. Apple just broke as well to the highs. So Apple is going to push as well. So watch Apple to the upside. Apple is going to approach my first level where if it break this level right here, then we could see Apple push. My target on Apple at that point will be 208, 208.50, I believe, followed by 209.50. Those are my targets for Apple. So watch Apple to the upside. My average cost on SPY calls, $600 calls, is 92. I won't buy Apple. I like Apple to the upside. It broke right here, but I won't buy it until it break the week high. I'm looking at it to break the week high first. If it break the week high, then I'm gonna get into Apple calls. I'm already in two trades for the day. So my next trade is SPY calls. So right now I'm in SPY calls. I'm in SPY $600 calls. So those I did AVGO. AVGO is actually hitting target right now, the next target. So AVGO just hit that target I talk about right there. So AVGO just hit that target. There you go. So closed. There we go. So if anyone was still holding on to AVGO, you should at least trim something and take some type of profit at that point. For Apple, Apple did not break the week, so I wouldn't look at Apple until Apple breaks the week. AVGO looking good to the upside. Next target on AVGO is going to be right here at the 200 EMA. All right, here we go on SPY. If we break here, which we just did, we should see a push on SPY, at least back up to day highs. And if we break day highs, then our first target is going to be 650, right? I have a line there. So let me see why I have a line there. That level has been marked several times, it looked like, yeah. So this level right here, we've tested several times and reject, okay? So expect us, if we come up here, expect some type of movement, a break through this right here, and then we're gonna push, okay? A break through that level and we're gonna push. All right, I'm up 5% right now in these contracts. A break above 600 and we're gonna push. I want to see a break above 600. All right, this first 5-minute candle is ending right now. Out of, if you look at the time over here, we have 24 seconds, 20 seconds left for this 5-minute candle to end. We're looking good so far as to the upside. Because we broke right here, we should come back up and test up here. Okay, we should test day high. By testing day high, we break through day high. If we break through day high, our next stop is going to be right here. We reject right here several times, okay? And then previous day high is going to be our yellow line right here. So new 5-minute candle. Pay attention to right here. All right, here we go as far as the push. Up 8%. Let's see this right here. No. Let's see the day. Let's see the 4 hour. Let's see the 1 hour. I have 8 minutes left on this 1 hour. Shit. All right. 8 minutes left on this 1 hour. Need to see a push right here. All right, watch the push, guys. Watch the push. I hate that my phone keeps locking up. All right, up 14% right now, guys. Up 14%. 12%. 13% again. Keeps changing. Here we go. We're approaching day high. I'm going to trim some of my contracts right here. Just because we're at day high. All right, so I just trimmed some of my contracts. We're right at day high, so we could either break through this right here or we could pull back, okay? So make sure that you're taking some type of trim. Apple is pulling back. This is going to be the last 5 minutes of right here. So let me see how the 5 minute is set up. 5 minutes still looking good. 5 minutes still looking good. What we want is just a big heavy push. If we have a big heavy push for this last 25 seconds, then you're going to see a push even more. If you see a heavy drop, then we might pull back. Remember, we have 5 minutes left in this 1 hour candle as well. Okay, 5 minutes left in this 1 hour candle. If you look at this 1 hour candle right here, we can pull back within that range. Okay, can pull back within that range. That's why I always say to make sure you trim. Still up 9%. Everything is showing to the upside as far as everything is showing green, right? On the 15-minute, 30-minute, everything is showing green. But we're using that day high as a resistance right now. It hasn't broke it. Go up to test it, but it hasn't broke it. Remember, the target once it broke here was day high. Okay, that's the target, day high. We're finding support off the 50, which is good. So we're finding support off the 50-minute, the 50% retracement for the day, which is good. So I like SPY to the upside. We just need to see like a big heavy push. Hopefully we could break right here within this next 3 minutes. If we break here, guys, we're gonna see a massive push. We should see a massive push. A breakthrough here, we should see a massive push. If you see that push within the first within this 3 minutes right here, sell some. Okay, make sure you scale it out. Contracts are getting messed with because we have this little consolidation right here, so the contracts are getting played with. So right now, let's see. All right, now we're up again 9%. Just need to see like this massive push right here. If we see this massive push right here, we should be good. All right, up 11%. There we go. All right, so we're approaching target. We're literally almost touching target right there. Okay. Up 12%. Just playing with your feelings. See, we got 1 minute and 40 seconds left. We might have a pullback here, guys. Yep, might have a pullback right here. All right, 1 minute left in this candle. Four seconds left. That's the pullback I'm talking about. Okay. Now watch this move right here. This does not have a wick on the bottom, so it might pull back. There's a pullback. All right, here we go. Here's that push, that volume that I was talking about. You see that quick volume right there? There we go. It's going in the right direction, so that's good. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Up 20%. Make sure you're trimming. There we go. Up 20% on these contracts. All right, just trim some more. Watch this right here. We broke to the upside, so we should push to the upside. What they might do, they might scare people out. Ooh, look at that. There we go. That's that volume I'm talking about. There we go. 31%. Up 31%. See, that first line is what I'm talking about right here. Once we're testing, we almost test that line, right? So if you look at it, if you look left, we have this level as a resistance level for the last 3 days, okay? For the last 3 days, right? On what was this? On Friday, we tested this level twice and rejected it, okay? So right now, it's testing it again, okay? A break above here, guys, and we should push, okay? A break above here and we should push. Now, on the 1 hour, we're looking very good on the 1 hour. The 1 hour is a reversal to the upside, so we should, target should be up here, right? And we have 56 seconds, 56 minutes left. So we should push, continue to push up, but make sure you're taking profit, okay? Make sure you're taking profit. It's rejecting that same area, okay? So now we have 3 touches on that same area. We reject all of their Friday. We came back again. So now we're about to test it again, okay? So pay attention to this area. A breakthrough of that on the day, and we're looking at the targets 603.07 followed by 605.38. That's going to be the targets for today if we break above that level, okay? So basically, if we break above this day that we have right here, is that a day? Yeah. If we break above this day, we're looking at 603 and then 605. Right now, the contracts are up 30%. Let me refresh because we did have this pullback right here. I already scaled out of most of my contracts. Right now, I'm up 18%. Apple is pulling back. See, we see that big spike in volume right here, that big push. We need that to just continue up. But again, we have that level right here that we need to break through. All right, guys, so that's 2 for 2 as far as call outs. Okay, I'm not calling out no more trades for the day. You guys should be profitable already. Okay, so make sure that you're trimming, make sure that you have trailing stops, make sure you do whatever you do so you take some type of profit. Okay, I already scaled out of most of my contracts. I'm holding runners at this point. I'm holding runners with the intention that if we break above here, the contracts that I'm holding should do 100% to 200%. But I won't let my trade go dark either. So I have my stops in place. Let's see on this 5-minute. See how we getting that rejection again? Getting that rejection again right here. So pay close attention to that. Getting that rejection again. Remember, guys, so I always talk about this too, right? These are psych levels. So what psych levels are, it's the 600, the 650, the 700, but also psych levels are 605. So 610, right? Those are psych levels. So when we hit those levels, there's going to be some type of sell-off. Right now, we're hitting 600, okay? We've hit 600 several times and we've rejected 600, okay? A break above 600 and SPY will push, okay? What it's doing right now, as you notice, we're testing 600. The last time we test 600 right here, we use 600 as support, right? Gapped up and then break below it, and then it come back up to 600 and reject. So this is the first time we're hitting 600 since February 26, okay? So this is a psych level. So for the people who bought in February 26, that bought at 600, right? They're down, okay? So think about it. they're down and they're saying, yo, you know what? I need to get out. They might be down 20 grand, 30 grand, whatever it is, 100 grand. Who knows how much they put into it, right? They were down. So now they're seeing break even. They're getting out. It's guaranteed that they're going to get out, right? So you're going to see people selling to make sure that, hey, they're recovering, they're taking profit. And then hopefully when it rejects at 600, when they sell at 600, they're looking for a better price of entry. So they're saying, you know what, let me sell at 600, let it come back down, and then get in at a lower price. So my average cost will be less. But guess what? Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Okay? It doesn't work out that way. Now pay attention right here. We have 4 minutes left in this 15-minute candle. If we break to the downside, we might fall. Okay? If we break to the downside, we might fall. Yeah, we rejected here a few times. So this is a key level right here. Now, what we might see, we might play around here for the rest of the day too. And then afterwards, you might see where we gap up even tomorrow, depending on where we close. If we completely drop for the day, right? But I don't think we are, because where we bounce off of is a good level as far as the 50% line. So I don't think we are. We found support right here. Look at the support, right? 1, 2, 3. 3 candles of the day, we found support right here. So for people that are in calls right now, right, they might mess with your contracts. Okay, they might mess with the contracts right here. So they might pull it back, test 50 again. By the end of the day, bounce it back up. Contracts won't be worth as much, right? But going into tomorrow, you could be like, all right, let's wait and see what the day does, and then look into tomorrow for a call. So you could do a swing call, but I wouldn't say swing tomorrow's call if you want to be risky with that, because it can also gap down. So you could do where you swing, do like a 2 week out call on SPY or something, right? You could do that as well. This right here is just showing like, all right, people came in, take profit, right? People sold off at 600. That's all this is showing right here. But not only that, again, they can mess with your contracts and sell right here. What I would say though is, if this 15-minute closes like this, if it closes like this, and then we have a 15-minute that comes up and then break right here, we can come right back down. Okay? We can come right back down. All right, guys. So see the pullback right now. It's using these lines as support. It's on VWAP right now. Again, pushing everybody out their calls right now. Pushing everybody out their calls. So now This is a reversal candle. If 2 seconds in, we come in, we break, new 15-minute comes in, break below this, we can come down. So now the target is going to be right back at the 50. Okay, right back at the 50. I draw this trend line right here. This trend line, it can also bounce off the trend line and go back up. Okay. But two solid trades for the day, guys. Everybody should have won on those calls. I'm not doing any more plays. I'm not in nothing right now. I'm not in nothing right now. Apple broke back down to the downside right here. Double inside. It broke the double inside. So Apple is probably going to look to drop right here. All right. So pay attention to Apple. Now Apple doesn't have a wick on the top. So expect Apple to do like some type of push up right here. Expect Apple to do some type of push up right here and come back up here because it doesn't have a wick on top. Now it doesn't have to go back up. Okay. It doesn't have to go back up, but because it doesn't have a wick, you probably see this push back up. Now remember what I said. It's coming right back down to target right here. Okay. So pay attention to that. We also have this trend line that I just drew. Okay. So on this trend line right now, we're creating higher highs. I didn't look to see if, no, didn't use anything else. So just this trend line, but this is a shorter time frame. But this is people selling, guys. So this is people selling. I mean, price is dropping, so you know people are selling. But that is where you have the 600 level, which is an important level, and it's rejecting that 600 level, right? So once we break above this, and a lot of times what you will see is if price doesn't break it today, what you most likely, a lot of times what you will see is you'll see a gap, right? You'll see a gap up because like the simple, like there's not, every time it goes it rejects, so you're just going to see a big buy volume that happens either after market, which pushes the price above there, so you open above it, right? A lot of times that happened with recently that happened with Adobe, where the same situation happened with Adobe, right? Adobe was sitting at one level for a while, and then all of a sudden I said the same thing, and then the next day it gapped up like $13, right? So a lot of times when price will consolidate at a level, just pay attention to that. Okay. Right now it bounced right off the trend line and heading back up. If we break below this trend line and close below this trend line, then we're gonna touch this 50 right here. Okay. So if anybody, what multiple time frame indicator is that? Oh, this just, if you're talking about this right here, this just show what the time frames are doing. But I normally look at all time frames. This just show the confluence as far as if all the candles are red. If the 15-minute candle is red, the 30-minute candle is red, all of those are red. So right now we're showing confluency going down. But yeah, if that's your question. So right now we're approaching back right here, guys. If we break below here, we're gonna fall. Okay, it's just it is what it is at that point. Make sure that you take. I already said make sure you take profit. When we go up here, right? We had that massive push. Contracts went above 30% on here. Okay, contracts went above 30%. So you should have took profit. I scaled out several times. I took profit at like 12%, 20%, and 30%. Now pay attention, because if we just bounce around here, and I believe that we can go higher. I believe we can go higher. Right here, I don't see anything that indicates we didn't touch target on the 1 hour. This is an engulfing candle, so this is an outside bar. So this push up there, which indicates we're going to the top. It's a little sell zone right here, 600, but people are gonna sell. We already know people are gonna sell at 600. So I'm not calling any more trades out for the day, guys. We took 2 trades. We took we took AVGO. We took AVGO calls, right? So right now, no. Hold on. What was I on SPY? So we took AVGO calls. I'm gonna put AVGO on this side. So we took AVGO calls. My first target was right here at support from the day. So the day had a support level, and I took the first target was right here, right? I said the second target was going to be right here at the red line. That's the second target. Now, why did I choose these targets, and why did I go in a call? Okay. I waited for the first 15 minute to happen. When I saw the first 15 minute, we have a hammerhead on the first 15 minute. Now, some people, they have different ways of calling hammerhead. They want the candle to be green, whatever it is, however you want to say it, right? But this right here is a hammerhead. As far as I saw the reversal. So this right here, the candle is red, right? A perfect hammerhead would be a green candle. I will say that a perfect hammerhead would be a green candle, right? But in a sense, this set up like a hammerhead. Then the break of this shows that it's a reversal to the upside. So once I see the break of that high, then I got in that call. So the call, I said the first target was going to be right here, followed by the second target of right here. Why did I choose those? Because we gapped down. And because we gapped down, I know that right here was support. So we're going to test support. Okay. So support becomes resistance. Then where would it go after that? Well, after that, the next target will be the gap close. So it closed the gap right there. Now, I am completely bearish on AVGO, right? For the on a higher time frame. For the week, I'm bearish on AVGO. Why? Because right now we have a perfect reversal candle, right? We have a same thing. This is an inverse hammerhead or a shooter. Some people call it the shooter, right? But you have this right here and it broke. Now, where was the first target when it broke? Right here at gap close. Where's the second target? Right here at the body, not the wick. The second target, the third target, let me click right here. So this right here, of course, would be the first target because gap close, right? Which is not much, but still. Then you have here the body wick. Then you have another gap right here that needs to be closed, okay, at 28. So in a week, we could see this fall. Now, does it have to fall completely all the way down for the week? No. It could retrace right here, come down to the halfway of this candle, and then afterwards the following week, drop some more, and then hit target, bounce right off. Okay? We have more gaps to the downside to fill down here. So that's a big gap right here as well. Let me actually take that up and use I'm going to use this to show gaps. So you have from right here to right here is a gap. So this is a big old gap right here that needs to be filled. Okay? Then you have another gap right here that needs to be filled. So that's why these levels are there, because gaps need to be filled. Now, does gaps fill right away? Does gap fill in a days or any? No, it don't have to. If you go look on Apple, if you go look on Google, there's gaps that need to be filled, but they're way back. Some of those gaps don't even get to be filled because what happened, price run up so much that the company splits. So when it splits, there goes your gap fill, right? So what you have to pay attention to is now if you're trading during the day, during the day and you see any type of gap up or gap down on the day, expect those gaps to close. Okay, you can expect those gaps to close. So for instance, if you're trading say for instance if you're trading AVGO and you have this candle right here, and then all of a sudden you see the candle gap up right here to open up, right? Expect the candle to come back down here and close that gap within the day. That will happen within the day, okay? But if you're talking about overnight gap ups, those don't have to close. I actually like AVGO to the downside, but it didn't reverse in a higher time frame. So it's coming back in. It already hit target on the 1 hour. It already closes all the gaps. So yeah, but oh, I already take my trades for the day. I'm done for the day. Yeah, no more trades for me. No more trades for me. So with that said, guys, I got 3 minutes. Let me see if I have any more questions before I jump off. No more questions. All right, guys, I have a hard stop at 11 o'clock. I didn't get to work out this morning. I'm on day 57 of 75 hard. So, man, I got 2 more weeks left of 75 hard. 2 more weeks left. I've seen major improvements. Definitely help with my trade. So, just a heads up, guys. I'm going to be talking about this a lot in the next coming every day going forward. I'm going to be starting a new challenge. That challenge has to do with trading. It's going to be called Trading 75 Hard. If you want to be part of that, DM me. I'm going to talk about what the whole process is going to be, okay? It's going to be something to where you become a better trader, okay? The whole point of this is make sure you're doing things, creating habits to become a better trader, and get your emotions intact, right? So there's certain things that I see that's helpful that I've been trading for years now. So, and when, some people will say they've been trading. I've been trading for since 2017. Not much as far as taking it serious in 2017. I have a story just like any one of you where I've lost money, got disappointed, quit, and say, yo, I'm not doing this no more. but for some reason you know that you can do it, and for some reason you don't want to quit. For some reason you see other people's story and they done the same thing and they stick with it. But the thing is, you have to learn a process. You have to find your own process, make it a goal to make sure you're following your plans and your rules. And once you have those set in place, all you have to do is just sit back, take your trade. If it doesn't go your way, be good in the fact that you're taking a loss, but you took a loss at a point where you say, all right, I'm taking that loss, right? But what we used to do, or what I used to do, is I'm be like, yo, I'm gonna take this loss, I'm gonna take this loss. Oh, I'm gonna wait, and shit. Now my whole account is almost gone, right? So those are the things that over time you have to learn how to navigate through those, right? So with this 75 hard, trading 75 hard, this should be helpful for everyone. Okay, everyone that's coming in, that's learning how to trade or want to learn how to trade, it should be a fun process. But I'm just giving the thing as far as what you should do, right? And hopefully you follow through with it. But it's gonna be similar to 75 hard, but just with trading in a sense. All right, guys. So with that said, it's 11:01. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come on and trade with you guys. And drop me a DM. Make sure if you need to see any videos on YouTube, let me know what type of videos you like for me to drop. I explain everything to the T as far as when I'm doing my call outs. Okay. So with my call outs, I explain everything to the T and then I go over it. This is like my journaling session, right? Because journaling is important. Because I do this live, it's like my journaling as well. So I can go back and see why I take the trades, but that's why I explain to you guys as well why I take the trade. And this is what I do with everyone. All right. So with that said, guys, have a great rest of your day. 2 for 2 as far as trades. SPY just reversed on the 15 minutes, so we're probably going to go back up to the upside, but I'm not calling out no more trades for the day. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. All right. Bye, guys.